be right. I think about it day and night. I feel like a king, oh yeah. And baby, can't help but stare. Such a rush, baby. Oh, when you touch me, baby. Such a rush, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, guys and dolls, cats and chicks, you're listening to Viva ENT. This is Johnny The Capo. I'm your host today. We're live on the radio in Seattle. And guess what? I have a special guest host today, and her name is
Stacey Israel. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. It's going to be great.
It's going to be really great. And, of course, my regular co-host, Mr.
Devin the Stagehand.
Yes.
Devin the Stagehand Creisler, for sure. And, of course, the greatest producer in all of Seattle, Mr.
Hey, it's Eric.
Stacey Reidar. Woo! There we go. We nailed it. We nailed it. Sometimes we
That
don't.
was one for the books.
Yeah. Sometimes we don't nail it.
That's a keeper.
And that was we nailed that one. It's a bit of a cloudy day.
Yes, it is.
In Seattle, but what of you, huh, Stacey? What do you think about that?
Hey, I think it's wonderful. At least the air is fresh, you know.
That's fresh and clean.
And maybe it'll burn off later and we'll see some sun shining through like we have been.
Fresh and clean, baby. Fresh and clean.
Yes.
Now, I want to talk about our group real quick, Devin. Viva ENT, talk radio, rock, pop, and soul.
Yeah, it's getting bigger by the day.
792 members as of showtime.
Wow.
We only need 8 members to get to 800.
We can do that by next week.
Oh, no, we'll do that by the weekend. Are you kidding me?
Maybe even today.
Maybe even today with Stacey on the show. we might get there. And Stacey's a member, of course. And, of course, we have the lovely Stacey Israel in the studio today, and we're going to talk about everything that she does with her music, her career. And we got some projects in our new studio, Devin, that is going to be up in action in about 2 weeks, I'd say.
Yeah, we're
No longer than 2 weeks.
And then, we'll have
Might be up in action by the weekend. You know, it depends. So anyway, here we go. We got a great show for you today. We're going to we're featuring our guest Stacey Israel today, and we're going to talk about her career. We're going to play some of her music, and of course, if you're not a member of Viva ENT Talk Radio, Rock, Pop, and Soul, get on Facebook and join because it's a fun group. Almost everybody that's on the group keeps saying how much fun it is,
Right.
how they love to talk about the stories because we share the stories about rock, pop, and soul through the decades. And it's just a fun group. And if you're into rock and roll trivia and you like that kind of stuff, nostalgic memories that music brings you through the years,
Yes.
then our group is like killer.
Musical journey and lovers of music.
It's a journey.
Right.
Yeah, there's no question about it. So now, where are we? We're going to talk also about Eddie Van Halen today and Johnny Nash. You know, 2 great artists that left us this week. You know what, because I'm an older guy, a little older than you guys. You know what spooks me is when you see like a guy like Eddie Van Halen going down at 65.
yeah.
You know what I
Young.
mean? That's a little bit too early, you know what I mean? 65 is, 65 is a little too early to
Yeah,
go.
he passed away of throat cancer on
I know.
October 6th.
Oh,
but
that's
he had such a great career, and he played.
Right.
He's been playing since the 70s. So.
Well, the guy was just a phenomenal guitar player, and he used techniques that other cats weren't using. You know, and that's what brought him to legendary status because he was using harmonics and he was doing all kinds of tricks with his guitar. He's just having a ball, having fun, and meanwhile he became a legend doing
Right.
so. Isn't that cool?
Now, how I was exposed to him is, remember, what was
do
it,
I-
MTV,
Do I remember?
right? I mean, that was one way that people were
MTV.
exposed, like David Bowie and all these different people.
When I was playing in Vegas and I was getting off at the nightclubs, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I come home, and you can't go to sleep because you've been singing and playing all
Right,
night.
you hear music in your ears.
Turn in. That's when the MTV came out in the early 80s.
Right.
And I started tuning in. And it was like, okay, All right. This is
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah, Van Halen had such a stage presence. They just
Oh,
they'd
yes.
fly into the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what vocalist they were using as the front man, the band was always like
On fire. Yeah.
on fire. That's right. So let's talk about Stacey. Stacey, let's talk about let's talk about Stacey for a while.
Well, with the whole COVID thing,
Yike!
the whole live performance thing, of course, has slowed down quite a bit. So
No question.
it was kind of nice last Saturday. My quartet, we did a nice gig at it's called Concert Forest, and it was a happy hour gig, and it turned out really great. We'll be getting some footage and everything from that, so I can share it on some social media. But
We'll put it on the group,
yeah, I will absolutely.
please.
Yes, but that was nice. We did some original music. Actually, Yogi, we did one of his original jazz songs.
Cool.
He's my keyboard player.
Yeah, he's a jazzy guy. I see it.
Yes, he is. And then they had some Latin style music and, some R&B,
Cool.
some blues. We did a little bit of everything.
Very cool.
That's what's nice about being able to be an artist. You can do whatever you feel.
And yeah, subscribe to your YouTube channel. You have a.
Oh, yes, please do. It's Stacey Israel, and I'm on YouTube, and I'm also on Facebook, Stacey Israel Music. On IG, it's Stacey Israel 3. So check in.
And you have an Instagram too, right?
Yes, I do. IG,
right.
Instagram.
So are you? In other words, you're all over the place.
I kind of am, yes.
She's
Yeah.
all over the place.
You know what they say, to whom much is given, much is required.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Eric, are we ready for a little cut from Stace?
Sure.
Yeah, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
From the show that we did on Saturday, people loved Go Ahead Boy. So is that one tuned up?
Yeah, this from your album, I Need Your Lovin'.
Yes,
right, I
it's
like
the
it.
romantic slow one.
Ooh, great picture of Stacey on the cover, too. Who
Yes.
shot the cover?
You know what? Photographer, his name was Michael. He's not doing it anymore, but
Oh,
Well, that's too bad.
I know.
He's talented.
awesome. Thank you.
Let's hear a little bit of Go Ahead Boy.
Go ahead, boy. Go ahead, go ahead, boy. Go ahead, boy. I know you want me, and I want you too. But time is of the essence that makes good things come true. So just hold on, 'cause I'll be here and won't be gone, waiting for you with the open arms. So please be patient. I want what's right for me and you. I'm not down with no hit and a run. Try and understand how I feel, baby. You got to be the one, just one. So come a little closer, baby. Go ahead, go. You gotta be the one. Go ahead, go. Do what you wanna do. Go ahead, go. Keep your love coming strong. Go ahead, go. This night is all yours.
Wow.
well, I got
Very smooth.
I gotta say, Stacey, I know you're a great singer. I've been a fan for a long, long time, and I'm very, very impressed with that production.
Well, thank you.
And I love that little bit of growl that you got in that one
I told
phrase.
you. Yeah, I'm telling you, the raspy is.
Yeah, the grasp
really,
is good, baby. I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying. Eric, what'd you think about that?
Classic, smooth, slow jam, I think.
Right,
Yeah.
Would be the right term for it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
At the same time, I think it's contemporary as well. What do you say?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
It has a timeless vibe to it.
Yeah,
And
that's a good way to say it.
Yeah, because I performed it live with Groove Kitchen and at 13 Coins, they loved it.
Oh yeah.
And then me and Yogi will do our duets a little bit more mellow. They love it. So you can, depending on the musicians, you can really change it up. you
Yeah.
know, and since it's an original song, yeah.
Very nice.
And then I have to give credit to the manager at the time that was my producer. His name's Richard J. Jackson, and he's no longer with us. He's in heaven.
Oh,
but
okay.
he was my inspiration. He's the one that took me in the studio and, taught me a lot about
Cool.
stage presence and everything. So
I hate
God
it.
bless him.
I hate it when they go to heaven.
I know, right? But
Yeah.
but I mean, I've done well. So
Yes.
he'd be proud, and so would my dad, who's also a musician.
I'm
Who's in heaven, too.
Stacey, did you write all the songs on the record?
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Richard helped me out on that one, though.
Yeah.
Right.
I am totally impressed with that cut.
Thank you.
Sounds like anything from the 70s we're just listening to. Like,
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but by
Yeah,
the same
timeless.
token, I think it could be a hit now.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
no question about it. That it was.
As a songwriter, I'm curious, Stacey, who would you cite as influences?
Oh, I listened a lot to Shaka Khan.
Oh, I love
back
Oh,
in
yeah.
the day. Yeah.
And Rufus?
Yeah, Rufus. Yeah, and there was
Shaka Khan.
Patrice Rushen and
Oh, yeah.
Aretha.
Forget Me Not,
Stevie
such a great song.
Wonder.
Yeah, Stevie
Oh,
Wonder.
man.
Yeah. I can hear a lot of that in
Yes.
there.
Yeah, I can't.
So
too.
you were right on, Devin, with the
Right.
70s.
Those
kinda.
are the
Yeah.
influences.
Yeah.
It's true.
and definitely DJ worthy. Oh, yeah, play that.
Right.
Yeah.
My husband Lawrence thinks that the best music comes from the 70s, 60s, and 70s.
There's a lot of good stuff,
A lot of good
as
stuff,
we
yeah.
found out.
Even before that, too. Long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
as
50s.
we've been dissecting the 70s hit music over the last
Right.
several weeks here on the show, and we're going to continue that again on the next show, right?
That's yeah. I think we're going to 77.
Yeah, are we?
Oh,
yeah, we're
nice.
at 77.
Yeah.
I love
wow.
it. I love it.
Yeah, that's the year the King
That's going to be
died.
interesting.
I'm not too happy about that.
Your rumors came out.
Rumors. Here's the thing about rumors that got me mad. One of the greatest albums of all time, no question. But I always got to throw Elvis into the equation, and there's a story with that. Elvis had the longest running #1 record with his album Blue Hawaii. It was #1 for 22 weeks. 22
Wow.
weeks.
That's long.
And it held that record until Rumors beat the record.
Wow.
So I loved Fleetwood Mac, I love Rumors, but I wasn't happy they beat the record.
Oh.
Yeah. being I'm the Presley fan that I am,
Sure.
but I had to throw that in.
Right. Well, the king had his reign. Yes,
The king
yes.
had his reign, no question about it.
That's right.
Yeah. So, fill us in. What's going on?
Oh, okay. So this Saturday,
Saturday?
my beautiful sister is getting married
Oh boy.
to a wonderful pastor. So she found her Boaz. Yay. So me and Yogi are going to be doing 2 songs. We're going to pull in some Natalie Cole,
cool.
Inseparable, which is, we're sticking to the 70s, aren't we? And then also, of course, At Last. At Last.
Oh yeah.
By,
Etta James.
Etta. So
Yeah.
that's going to be nice.
Since you mentioned Natalie Cole, I gotta say that I seen Natalie Cole perform at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas
Oh, you're
in the day,
wow.
and of course I was a fan,
Right.
but I did not know that in that show I was going to be blown away.
Yes.
She,
So amazing.
she had a controversial career.
Right.
She had that huge album, Unforgettable. And then this was before as a matter of fact, I think the Unforgettable album had just became really popular because she included some of those cuts in that show.
Right.
But she was on fire.
Yes.
She was energetic. She looked great. And the thing is, and Stacey, you'll appreciate this. Her voice, she was like on the money, magical. She hit every note
Right.
that you thought she might hit,
Yes.
even better than you would imagine.
Right.
So Natalie Cole, of all the Las Vegas shows, and I've seen a ton of them at Caesar's Palace, is probably one of in the top. I'll say the top 3.
Definitely stands out.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
top 3.
Yes, she's amazing.
hmm So anyway, go ahead, Stacey.
Okay,
Take it away.
And if you don't mind, I'm going to switch over. So for my sister's wedding, I'm also going to be the makeup and hairstylist.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah.
So as you know, that's my other business.
Oh, so in other words, you're an entertainer and you have another business.
Right. And I actually have, let's see, this is my third time where I've done the makeup and the hair and then did the singing as well. So if y'all need, to keep it simple.
Well, give her your phone number, your information, your website.
Absolutely. So my bridal website is StaceyIsraelBridal.com.
Cool.
And there's my contact information there. And again, you can always message me on Instagram, StaceyIsrael3. Send me a message there, or you can go either on Facebook, Stacey Israel Music, or you can go to just Stacey Israel on Facebook.
That sounds marvelous.
I'm kind of everywhere, y'all. But again, to whom much is given.
And what's going to happen with Stacey is that we're going to get you into, hopefully, when this COVID stuff baloney is over, we have the Tacoma Wedding Expo coming up in January.
Yes.
And we're going to get you featured with not only your band, the quartet, for playing weddings, but also your makeup business too.
Right.
So look for Stacey at the Tacoma Wedding Expo in January. And Devin, you're going to be there too. You don't know it yet, but you're going to be there.
Yeah, I'll come there.
Yeah.
Oh, and you guys, I'm sorry, I don't want to forget about my other band. Okay.
Well, how many bands you got here, sister?
Maybe about 3 right now.
Oh my gosh.
Groove Kitchen has been a little bit quiet because of the COVID.
Well, of course, they've all been quiet.
Right. So there's also, because if people want to do a little bit more than just jazz, they want some funk and all that stuff and danceable stuff, Stacey Israel Band.
Oh, yeah.
So that's there's Yogi on keyboard, there's Jude Contreras, the one that I was telling you about. I want to record that song Onda.
Oh, yeah, the guitar?
So that we can release that. And then we've got an amazing drummer and some really good musicians.
All that stuff. Yeah.
So a little bit funky, and Bob Antolin will step in with his brass. He does flute and all these different things. So.
Oh yeah, I know Bob and Yogi.
Oh God, and you actually did some stuff for us. I'm telling you, you did the sound for us
for comfort food.
Yes, for them, and then you did some for Groove Kitchen too, because that's where I met you.
Right.
Small world.
Yeah.
So talented musicians.
Right.
And, guest Norm Bellis on there.
Right.
Yeah. He played with Big Mama Thornton back in the day.
Yes.
Big Mama Thornton. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing musicians.
You know about Big Mama Thornton, don't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right here in Washington.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's Big Mama Thornton.
Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
In 1953. You want me to tell you the story?
Yeah, she was the original, didn't she? She was
Lieber and Stoller number, of course.
Lieber and Stoller, yeah.
And
Lieber and
we've
Stoller.
had, Jerry Lieber, or not Jerry Lieber, but that Mr. Stoller has been on the show, of course, a few times.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, matter of fact, remind me, because I want to get him back on the show. Mike Stoller,
Mike Stoller,
one of the greatest songwriters of all time, along with his songwriting partner, Jerry Lieber.
Yep.
Nice.
Of course, they wrote Hound Dog.
Right.
Yep.
And Stand By Me and Under the
timeless.
Boardwalk and On Broadway.
Jailhouse Rock.
Jailhouse Rock,
yeah.
Hound Dog. They probably
Smokey Joe's Cafe.
one of the most successful songwriting teams in pop history, along with Lennon, McCartney, and...
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of Elvis's hits were actually covers of
Right.
other artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, not so much covers of other artists, but he did cover a lot of other artists' songs.
Right.
Most of his hits were songs that he did, but there's a lot of confusion about that. A lot of people think that Elvis stole music from certain artists like Little Richard, who was one of the greatest artists of the time. But the fact of the matter is, other artists sing other artists' material. Now,
Especially back then.
back then.
You had, songwriters and artists were kind of two different camps, really.
Right.
You know, the songwriters would write stuff, and then the artists would go and perform and record them.
Like, for instance, Led Zeppelin, You Shook Me All Night Long. Did they steal that song because Willie Dixon wrote it?
Or what about Dolly Parton, I Will Always Love You?
Right.
That
Did
Whitney Houston
Yeah.
actually put it on the map, though, because I had no idea that Dolly had written and sang that song originally. But
Wow.
I bet you she did really well in the country market.
Well, she was a pioneering songwriter and
Absolutely.
performer for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
that song, that's another story too. I might get to it, but Dolly had a smash hit with that. And of course, when Whitney recorded it, she made millions of dollars.
Kind of like more of a new generation, maybe. And
Yeah.
with that whole movie, you
Mhm,
know,
The
The
Bodyguard.
Bodyguard,
Mhm.
you just kind of set it on a different. So, gosh, I
What?
would love somebody to take one of my songs that I wrote and redo it because, you know, it's the writers who get that credit.
There you
They
go.
get the money. So if anybody wants to sing any of my songs, please let me know.
Is it imitation the highest form of flattery?
right?
right.
Yes.
At one time, The Bodyguard was like the highest selling soundtrack of all time.
Yep.
Oh,
I
and
don't know
that
if it still
movie.
is, but
Oh
could
my
be.
God. I will still go home and watch that movie.
Kevin
Okay.
Costner, are you a Kevin Costner
yes.
person?
I am, yes.
Yeah, he had a lot of gals pretty excited about him in those years.
Right.
Well, we're almost due for a break.
Okay.
As we go to break, is there another cut, Stacey,
How
that we
about-
should play?
I'd like to hear I Need Your Lovin' since it's the title of the song.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's,
title of the album.
Of the
too.
album, thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, title of the album.
Very
Right.
cool. Very cool.
Let's hear a little bit of that as we go to break. We'll come back with more Viva ENT. We got our tribute to Eddie Van Halen coming up. We'll talk about Johnny Nash and more with Stacey Israel. Stay tuned.
What everybody thinks and everybody's doing.